The country is in divorce mode. Who's right? Who's wrong? Who's going to get custody of the kids?
Northampton County, Pennsylvania, a political bellwether with a legendary history of steelmaking. I've been coming here for a year, talking with voters who flipped the county after 2 consecutive votes for Barack Obama, with 1 historic vote for Donald Trump.
January 20th, 2017. It's the day the people became the rulers of this nation again.
I came back to Northampton County around the anniversary of the inauguration to find out whether voters here think Trump is making good on his promise to make America great again. Do you think that Trump is living up to his promise to make America great again?
Yeah, I would say he is.
This is Lee Snover, a Republican activist and one of the first here to back Trump. She runs a drywall company with her brother, Jerry.
We got the tax reform passed. We have a new member of the Supreme Court. There was a lot of deregulation. I think they did drop the ball on Obamacare, but I don't blame him. People are not blaming Trump. I'm not sure if that's been the sentiment you've been hearing. They mostly blame Congress. As soon as he was elected, even before he took office, that's when it started to really boom. I think he gave the confidence to the owners, to the builders, to the GCs to move these projects forward. You know, the timing was right. Since he became president, it's been major impact.
But digging deeper, it's not difficult to find people who are having doubts. Dwayne Miller was the popular Democratic mayor for 16 years of Bangor, Pennsylvania. But in 2016, he voted for Trump.
I am disillusioned, I guess would be mildly. Donald Trump seems like a spoiled individual, that he's always had his way, and he has to get in the last word.
Do you have conversations in which people express some kind of a wavering resolve?
Yeah, it's wavering resolve, but how much, I really don't know. It's surprising after some of the president's verbiage that people will still say, well, that's all right, but I still go vote for him. But that's diminished a lot. It's diminished from what it was before from here.
But the historic heart of the county is in Bethlehem. Once built on steel, now reliant on tourism. Hotel director Bruce Haynes stands by the president. He saw a 7% boost in revenue last year and says he's seen new life on Main Street.
I attribute a lot of it to the Trump agenda and the general optimism that has created from that. There certainly was a recovery going on, there's no question about it, but not the kind of growth rates that we've seen.
The tax bill, there's some studies that show that the tax bill doesn't deliver a lot necessarily for the middle class, but could deliver a lot for business owners.
Yeah, I totally disagree with the mantra from the Democrats that the tax bill was for the rich. The people that work here in this hotel are going to see significant benefits, $40 to $50 per pay period every 2 weeks, more cash in their pocket. That's a significant increase, and it's something that creates optimism for them.
But Trump's promise for America was much bigger than economic green shoots. These men each worked for decades at Bethlehem Steel, which employed thousands of people before the last ore was melted here in 1995. They did not buy Trump's promise, and they condemn his performance.
There was a lot of Republicans before they got elected, before Trump got elected, said, this is the guy who's going to do it for us.
Yeah.
And now the rhetoric has all changed, because they realize it's not true.
Do you think that Donald Trump fooled the American public?
Well, it's not that he fooled them. If everyone would have took notice when he was campaigning, and now he caters to, I'd like to say, the faction of the country that falls under the category of VI. You know what VI stands for? Village idiot. The audacity of the president saying everything that's coming together now he did. What a joke. There's no way to describe it. I don't want to say anything. I'll be audited tomorrow.
To make sense of the diverse opinions I was hearing, I came back to see Christopher Borick, a professor and pollster, who spoke with us at his home in Nazareth.
Most Trump voters from last year would still vote for the president today. However, I think if you look at the Trump coalition, it's frayed in Northampton County. I think you see individuals that ultimately voted for the president last year even with misgivings, but decided to pull the lever because they didn't like Hillary Clinton, wanted to blow up Washington and make it a different place. A number of those voters have, over the last year, developed regrets.
Have you seen any moments that voters are reacting to in particular?
I think his handling of Charlottesville.
Very fine people on both sides.
That was one of the moments where you saw the push away, I think, for that thin group of voters, if you will, in the Trump coalition that said, okay, I didn't sign up for that. For a number of those voters, he didn't pass the test.
But concern about divisions caused by Trump are not shared among his base.
Do you think that the president has inflamed racial tensions in the United States in the last year?
Who, Obama?
President Trump.
Oh, okay. You didn't say the right president. I didn't know who you was talking about. I thought you were talking about Obama. All right.
Yeah, I think Obama was the race,
without a doubt.
race problem. It wasn't Trump.
But we didn't have the white supremacy movement marching visibly with
We had the Black
torches.
Lives Matter. So which one is better? Was it okay to have the Black Lives Matter, but it wasn't okay to have the white supremacist?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's depends on who's president and what movement's there. I think America's moving in the right direction now. And we want to be ourselves again. We want to be America again. I think Trump helped bring that movement, but I think it's a movement with or without him.
Is the Trump movement really bigger than Trump? A year ago, when I first began reporting here, I expected to meet Trump voters who would tell me that Washington politics was broken and they wanted a candidate to shake things up. What surprised me were the stronger emotions. The elation some people felt about Trump's victory, and the depth of their contempt for Hillary Clinton. As dedicated as Trump's base remains, the elation about him has noticeably diminished over the year, while a small but significant margin of voters appears to have backed away from Trump completely. Trump's base here still hangs on to the glory of that day when he defeated Clinton. But that's a contest receding in history, like the blast furnaces themselves. And the only thing anyone knows about the future is that there's no going back.